Hey, ladies. So, I'm going to share something with you that I wish somebody would have shared with me. Back whenever I first started going to school, when I was pursuing my associate's degree, I did not know what I wanted to do. So, I kept changing my major from pre law to pre med to I wanted to be a paralegal. And so I kept changing my major. I also moved. And just because you're in the same state, even if you move and you're pursuing the same major, it doesn't mean that at that school, despite the fact that both of them are in the state of Florida, they will both require different courses. At least this is what happened to me. This is true. This is my truth. This is what I endured. And so, unfortunately, since I spent 4 years getting an associate's degree, which it usually only takes two, I'm now getting my bachelor's, and I now no longer am able to receive grant money from the state of Florida because I capped out. There's a 6-year cap. I found out about that today. I wish back then somebody would have took me aside and somebody would have said, Haley, get your associates in general studies because along the way, if you do want to get a bachelor's, this will go towards that. And you can obtain other associate's degrees or other degrees, and you can build on this. It is like the essential building block. At least this is my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion. And I wish somebody would have sat down and told me this. So I'm making this video. Maybe I can help somebody because I didn't have somebody to sit down and say, it's okay not to know what you want to do, but go with general studies because it's like the basics of everything. And then you can work off that when you kind of get, an idea of what you want to do. So that's my spiel. I hope that somebody can learn from my mistake and take what I've said and use it to help better themselves in some way. I'm now getting my bachelor's and I'm kind of at a crossroad. I want a doctor in front of my name, whether that's a doctorate or a doctor, like a PhD or MD. I want a doctor in front of my name. So right now I'm at a crossroad. I finished up my bachelor's degree in the fall and I'm debating, what do I want to do? Do I want to go towards med school, which I will then have to get a bachelor's in some type of like pre-med aspect, which I already was somewhat doing that for an associate, so I know I'll have some of the credits, or I'm hoping, fingers are crossed, or get my master's and then get a PhD. So I'm debating. If you have any type of info, or I would love to hear y'all's feedback because I'm 32 and I still am like not sure what I want to do. I know people say do what you love. Well, I'd rather be financially stable. Money makes me happy. Um, Being able to pay my bills makes me happy. I've seen family members of mine that did what they loved, and unfortunately, they are having a hard time getting by, and they are having problems with having to possibly work another job when they retire. And I don't want that to be me. I don't want to have to ever ask my kids for help money wise to make ends meet. I want to be able to provide for my children and I want to be able to give them a life that I did not have the opportunity to get. I'm not saying I grew up bad. I grew up very blessed. And back when I was a kid, I didn't realize how good I had it because I was so busy, like looking at everybody else and what I didn't have. And I actually grew up a lot better than other people. And I'm not bragging, but like back then, when I look back on my childhood, I thought that I had it so hard and I was so ungrateful. And now I look back and now I'm older, I'm like, wow, I took so many things for granted. And I know I've kind of like spun this into another topic, but I'm just hoping that maybe this will reach somebody and maybe somebody's like at a crossroad and it can help them. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just trying to be somebody's big sister, or just not only that, just help somebody out. Like, not so much be someone's big sister, but like that friend to, tell you what you need to hear, or, offer them advice, because I didn't have anybody like that. Unfortunately, I didn't. I did have an amazing mother, but she's always just kind of told me to like go with the flow, do what makes you happy. And that's not what I need to hear right now. I needed to hear back then, do what's going to make you successful. Okay. We are trying to break generational curses around here. Well, not so much curses, but you know what I mean, jelly bean. But, anyways, I'm done with my rant. I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Thank you. Please like, subscribe, and I love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. So feel sorry, y'all. Feel free to drop one. Bye.